Welcome to What's in the DVD Box podcast. The only podcast asking what is in fact in the DVD box. Introducing your hosts, Jonathan Lind and David Winkler. Now, welcome to the pod. Welcome back to What's in the DVD Box podcast. David, what's in the box this week?
Jonathan, we have The Patriot. Mel Gibson's The Patriot is what I like to add before it. And I am super stoked about this.
Amazing. I don't know of any other The Patriots, but that's not tonight's episode. What I want to know, how did this get in the box?
This got in the box because I watched this at possibly too young of an age for when I should have watched it. I don't even think I was a teenager. Watched this, was just blown away by Revolutionary War, just all of the visceral action and cannon shots taking out people's legs and such.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I was thinking of R-rated movies that I need in my box when I was 18, I thought, definitely this one.
That's one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I too was blown away by the cannonball shots. We'll get into that.
Sticks in the head a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what's, for someone who hasn't seen this or forgets about it, what's the synopsis of the film?
All right. From the back of the box, in 1776, in South Carolina, reluctant hero Benjamin Martin is drawn into the Revolutionary War after British forces destroy his home and family, leading him to form a militia with his son Gabriel. Martin fights for his family's safety and the nation's independence, facing themes of revenge and redemption.
Revenge and redemption.
Revenge and redemption.
I mean, it's a pretty good synopsis.
I mean, it's it's fair. So, have you seen this movie before?
I have.
Okay.
This movie I've seen, I would say maybe 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3? Okay. So, what's the one thing that just like sticks in your head when you think about this movie before you're going to watch it again?
Well, it's definitely Tavington, the bad guy. Like just his face, like something about it exudes evil. And I imagine it's because I also saw it probably kind of young. I don't think as young as you did.
Yeah.
Kind of young.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a bad man.
This is a bad man.
And so then it's just like his face as that character is associated with evil for me. And so now as I'm older, it's like, oh, he looks bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, he's a pretty bad dude.
Yeah.
So definitely remember that. I vaguely remember the like early scene when Benjamin Martin like ambushes the redcoats. Yeah. It's like you kind of remember the idea of it. I remember that. Yeah. And then of course the like final battle where they're like charging and yes, like the cannonballs, rolling up people's legs. Yeah. Whoa. Crazy.
I know. That's the cannonball taking the guy's head off. It's whatever. I kind of forgot that happened, but every time the cannonballs were shooting, all I could think is I was remembering when those guys get their legs taken off, because I kept thinking like, I would not want to fight in this war. Not that I'm like, we would be stoked to be on Iwo Jima or the Western Front or Eastern or wherever else, but I was just like, man, you're just getting a cannonball rolling down there while you're standing there in a line.
Yeah. That's
awful. And then also what I remember is homeboy taking the hatchet to, in my head, I thought there was like 6 British officers just chilling, stole his son. He's got to come and stop him. I thought there was like 6, and I was like, there's like 20 of these homies, and he's just going to take them all out. Also forgot that there were kids there. Just didn't think about the kids being there.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just taking our kids out, which are probably younger than my kid, who I didn't let watch this movie.
So you remembered the kids, or you forgot?
I totally forgot they were there.
Okay,
and then they are there, and I just sent my kid away because I didn't want him to watch the movie. And I was like, well, if he had to go shoot somebody, now he's a little bit less prepared. So I think I might have done him a disservice. But
maybe we get the pellet gun out and start. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, that's actually one of the notes I put down. I was like, maybe I need to be more aggressive on the gun safety teaching.
Yeah. It's not a joke.
No, it's not.
It's not a joke. Okay. How do you take this film as a whole? Because one of the things before I watched it again, I saw 2 hour and 55 minute runtime, and I thought, ooh, man, I've complained about movies that were 2 hours and 20 minutes, and that was just the last episode, Independence Day, by our boy Roland Emmerich, same director. So I'm thinking, 2 hours 55. What did you think of the movie as a whole? What did you think in terms of like the 3 hour runtime?
Well, I think Homeboy likes to slang some film if he's just making 3 hour movies all over the place, willy nilly like. But I saw it too. I was watching it late at night. I knew I had to get up the next morning, and then I was like, maybe I can like, cut this in half. Just gripped. I took it because I just wanted the bad guy to go down the entire time. So it flew by, and there's a sense of like, it's interesting watching these movies when you haven't seen them in a while, because it's like you remember pieces and everything, but it's probably been 20 years since I've seen this movie. Yeah. And so I was kind of like waiting for certain scenes, not remembering it, watching it kind of new with new eyes in some ways, so it flew by for me. It wasn't even a thing. 3 hours, I could have watched another 20 minutes of, The Ghost. So, I mean, there's lots of thoughts I have, like, with this movie. And, like, the one that, like, kept coming up throughout the movie and that I would just get mad about until they started switching up is just, like, you're just standing there getting shot. And I know this is how they used to do it, but it's just, like, I started to get a little bit mad until they switched it up a little bit. And even, like, the homeboy, the good guy, Mel Gibson's supposed to be like, hey, maybe he's not that smart. Like, which they're sitting there watching this battle, which is kind of wild in itself. But they're just like, hey, I don't know why you go stand against the British. It's like, yeah, I don't know why you go stand against the British. Maybe do something different. Like, put something in front of you. Just blew me away.
Okay, well, do we need to? Where do we need to start? Napoleon? Do we need to start before that?
I'm just
the Teutons, the Teutonic Raiders, Crusades. Like, how far of a history do we need to bring you to the British Empire?
I mean,
and the redcoats, and they were wearing red with white X's on their chest, and still were somehow the dominant force of the day.
When you have a sword.
Yeah,
I can understand standing in a line and running at other people with swords.
Yep.
And they used to not have a lot of armor, and so they could just launch some arrows over there, start to get more armor, arrows less effective. Mm-hmm. We get guns, so what do?
Well,
we
first
stand
guns,
there,
remember,
like we did with swords.
You would shoot a bullet, and that was basically all you had. That's why you had like the musketeers. Because it was like you shoot your one musket shot and then, well, back to swords.
No, but they kept little balls and. You say they were rolling out there with one. Even the cannons back in the day, they keep loading them up and just.
That's a whole crew, but you need the front lines. You need to protect them, otherwise, the cavalry comes through, and one of the elite ways to defend cavalry, if you know anything about the Battle of Waterloo, is you get these big squares of infantry and you funnel the cavalry through where you want them to go. And it's a very hard line to break. And that's how Napoleon lost the Battle of Waterloo.
Because Napoleon had dope cavalry?
Well, Napoleon had the cavalry and he dominated all of Europe for many, 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 many years until they were like, we got to try something else.
And that's how they did.
And they tried a lot of different things. And then finally they...
I feel like what you're trying to do is arguing, standing there, shooting each other in a line and not hiding behind something. And I'm just saying...
It's because of cavalry.
Bunkers?
They don't have shovels back then.
They had...
I got you on that.
They had so many shovels back then.
That's pretty much all they had.
I mean...
Look, the technology just wasn't there yet.
I mean, it sure was when the ghosts were out there ambushing homies all day.
What happens?
Guerrilla warfare.
Fight in an open field.
Build a chopper like that. This is what I'm trying to say. You need like someone for a bit of time back then stopped and was like, "Hey, we don't need to try to figure out anything faster than what we have right now." and they're just like, no, we're just cool with what's happening right
Get
here.
something faster than a horse.
No, faster shooting gun. Like, just get your technology up.
The British were shooting a bullet every 11 seconds. How much faster do you want a guy to
allegedly.
reload? Well,
I mean,
according to the written record, allegedly, sure.
so serpentine. This is not like everyone knows serpentine.
Well, but if you're serpentine, what does the guy next to you on either side do? So is the whole formation? I mean, we need a video podcast, but the whole formation,
Yeah.
go left to right, like
I mean, how
these
about
guys can barely walk together.
hit the ground?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, bring like a little wooden thing that gets down and just hide behind that. Drop down, shoot behind that. I mean, I would have been the dopest. I would have won so many wars.
Your boys would have just been running around, chaotic, and they would have lost.
I'd be like, hey, I have this idea in my head for this thing called an AR-15. We're going to get those, and we're just going to win. Yeah. I do. Real talk, though, like, it is crazy. Every time I go back and watch Revolutionary War stuff, like, it is crazy that the Americans were just, like, so outnumbered, and you're kind of like, man, how did they just keep rolling through? And it, like, you when you start to in a lot of these movies, we're like, hey, don't think about it too much. And this one, you can kind of think about it because it kind of happened, and you know what it did. And all I think about is like, man, they must have been like really committed to this cause. So when you hear this rah stuff, it's kind of like, well, there had to be some of that going on because they kept doing it. Like the odds were stacked against them, and then
it really was that. Like, Valley Forge, they're starving to death in the middle of winter, and they're not deserting. They're still going. Some of it is that, like, look, they had to go to all ends of what they could figure out to defend their cause. Like the famous painting of Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was on Christmas.
Yep.
Homeboy's just like, look, it's for America.
But
and his posse was like, you know what, George, send it. I'm in.
And
I'll paint it for you.
I can kind of get that, but it's like getting to that after they're getting their butts kicked like over and over, and they kind of like, because there was like dissent and people being like, this is dumb, we should stop, but then they just kept going. It's just it's crazy to think about, like, and even less like guerrilla war. I mean, they whoop their butts. It's like today, I mean, military power being different, but happens today. Like we just kind of like run away with our tails behind our butts, but like they lost. They just straight up lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Battle after battle.
Yeah. But
so your problem with the movie is not with the movie, but with the fighting.
That's what I kept thinking about in the movie.
Approaches of the time.
And then it
that were portrayed in the movie.
If the movie was just them lining up, shooting each other, and just like showing that over and over, which I think it was pretty accurate of like shooting, and then it kind of just like ended fast. It was like, all right, we're gonna line up. One people are gonna die, and then oh shoot, we're really getting our butts whooped, and we're just piecing out. Like, and then the cavalry kind of comes and cleans things up. Like that was fairly accurate from what I understand. It's not even that like long lasting of a thing. But that throughout the whole movie, if that's what it was, I would have been bored. But I think it was a good decision by the movie to like switch up the tactics, right? And
well, I think that's accurate too. Like, the United States had to do things like that. But to your point, yes, like you have to balance the film on the whole, I think, is really good. It's a good balance of action, downtime, characters, plot, action, downtime, villain, plot, action. Like it's a really solid pacing.
Yeah.
It's not too fast in areas, and I don't think it's too slow in any other areas. It doesn't linger too long.
Yeah, the character development and the motives behind why people are doing things make a lot of sense.
Yep.
And that's huge for me anytime. Obviously, like, are the decisions they're making sense?
Yeah.
Other than like, why do this in the first place, which is like,
Well, but
it's so hard for us to understand.
even that, like, you kind of get the explanation of like, this guy's trained in the British Army. That's kind of all he knows. So all he's going to do is just march his guys out and say, well, we have to go toe to toe because this is.
Oh, okay, yeah. So to that, but I mean, I'm talking about like why even be revolutionary in the first place, and like,
yeah.
but they even kind of explain that a little bit. Like you see the Congress and they're like kind of talking back and forth, and surprisingly, Mel Gibson like gives a epic speech about how this is dumb, we shouldn't do it. Like, the quote was, why trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? It's kind of a sick line.
It is. And the other one in that one, an elected legislator can trample a man's rights just as easily as a tyrant. It's like that.
We've never seen that before.
That's a.
Oh, it's called the Patriot Act. Oh, look at that.
An aptly modern.
Look at this.
Huh. But yeah, like that part was surprising. I didn't remember that he was like kind of against it at the beginning. Because you remember, like, he's on the cover, he's stabbing guys with bayonets.
Flags.
Okay, we remember that.
Yeah.
Don't remember him being like, this whole war thing is not great for anyone. We shouldn't do it. Which I think was a kind of a fresh, like a nice way to start the movie, I think.
And then when the movie progresses and like the antagonist comes on and like you see the villain for the first time, you can understand how he gets to that point, because it's just like so brutal.
Yep.
And man, and I think both of us can agree that this villain is, I mean, he's, out of all the movies we watched, for sure the worst person, the worst villain out of all the villains that we've seen, including the aliens trying to blow up the planet, because he would have blown up the planet as well if he could have. He just only had a horse and a sword.
He didn't think about it.
In the most
per
accurate
your logic. He should have just thought of the idea of a nuclear bomb and then built it.
I bet he did. And he's also just like, but I'm like the most accurate person with this pistol in the world, so
yeah,
I'll probably just use this thing instead of
ball and powder musket.
But he is like,
yes,
the worst person that we've come across in any of the movies that we've watched. And it might be cinema.
Typically here, I would oppose you because it makes for great content, but that's my position too.
I mean, I understand Hitler's been in some movies too, but like how the movie portrays this person and makes you dislike them. I mean, he's
actually the worst.
Actually the worst.
Shoots a kid in the back.
As just a starter.
And that's where he starts off.
He just loves burning stuff down too.
I gave him, well, let me try a couple,
okay.
A couple of nicknames on for you.
Okay.
The first one I thought of was just the standard William War Crimes Tavington.
Yeah.
That's
Tavington just does it too. It's just a
or William, the Geneva Convention hasn't been invented yet, Tavington.
Yeah. I mean, that's the war crimes does roll off the tongue.
Yeah, it fits a little better.
War crimes. I mean, I can't do a British accent. Just the worst person.
I also so a couple points of the villain. I really like how they play Tavington and Cornwallis.
Yeah.
Cornwallis is just this general who
gentleman.
He's a gentleman. He's he does things by the book. You expect if he loses a fight, he's all right. I'm not going to complain about it. We lost. Fair enough. He's more concerned that Benjamin Martin, Mel Gibson is shooting his officers. He's like, that's not what a gentleman would do. Like, we have to have order in the battle, which is great against as an opposing force. And then also Tavington, who reports to Cornwallis, who is just this guy who's like, he's a rabid dog.
Yep.
And Cornwallis is trying to rein him in with a few different tactics. Once he lets him off the chain, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah. Can't bring him back.
And does even like it's a really good back and forth because it gives you enough depth of those two characters where, you know, Tavington's a bad guy. Cornwallis is like, look, you can't just do war crimes. It makes things worse for us in the end.
Yeah.
You can't be so brutal. He shows Tavington that he's right. He's like, this ghost wouldn't have even been a thing had you not, you know, shot his son.
Yeah.
Which is entirely accurate. And then Tavington's like, all right, I'm under control, which gets you like 45 minutes, an hour into the movie. And then he's like, I can get you this guy, but you're going to have to like basically disavow me to the king and crown. So disavow me, basically.
Yep.
I'm going to go rogue and I'll get your guy. And then he proceeds to
go on a reign of terror.
Or on an absolute reign of terror. He ambushes families. He's trying to, steal some kids. He ambushes the supply lines. Or he sets his own ambush of Benjamin Martin's ambush.
Yeah.
Right?
The old Uno reverse on
the
him.
old Uno reverse. We weren't hauling supplies. We were hauling 20 redcoats. Hop out, boys.
They just got some horses on the hill.
QRF is in place. It's just in the cart. So like, tactics. And then he goes to the town that he thinks is helping them out, the militia. He locks them in a church and burns them alive. Like, that's just straight up war crimes. But it gives you this like intense like ebb and flow of like chaos and evil that to me fills the movie so well.
Yeah, I was gonna say the pacing of that keeps you disliking this person. It keeps you like waiting for whatever the like Mel Gibson's gonna do. You want it to lead to this guy dying.
And every time you see him on screen, like from that like minute 45 on, you're like, I felt legitimately nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, I've got to lean in because like this guy's bad and he's going to kill everyone. It's like whatever the reverse of plot armor is.
Yeah.
Like he is the thing that
like actual destruction on
has the chance to kill someone with plot armor.
Yeah. And he does, he kills everyone important in the show is killed by him basically, or his ambushes or something. Like he is the absolute evil in the show that it's not like, oh, someone's dying in a battle. Like you can kind of understand that. Like it sucks. It's like, no, they are all dying at this dude's hand.
Yep.
Full stop. And so it just ramps it up, And like I guess you could squabble the fact that, one person isn't going to cause that. But that's what, like, it's realistic, all the things he does. If someone was let off the leash like that.
Yep.
Just the worst.
And that's how, like, you still have these stories of, like, heroes in battle. And it's like some people just rise up. I think in this case it's accurate, but, he's evil. He just rises up and is just this, and it's like it's believable. It's not like some like superhuman or like super villain, like a modern superhero thing. It's just like within the confines of the reality of the movie, he's just the worst there, and you're like, it's a bad thing when he's on screen for the heroes. Yeah, which really makes it. Yeah, it's a grip. I mean, for the whole 3 hours, it's just. The movie ends and it's like, oof, probably could have gone another 30 minutes.
And then figuring out, too, after I was like doing some research, is like he's based off of this real life guy who wasn't quite as bad, but had quote unquote performed some atrocities, like kept killing after there was a surrender, and he claimed that it was an accident or whatever.
Yeah.
But that same dude lost the same battle that they were trying to portray, because he was over aggressive and rushed in too early. And Daniel Morgan, who was like one of the guys that like Mel Gibson's character was based off of, did this where he like had the militia in the front. They were expecting them to like basically get routed. So he pulled everyone back, just like happened in there. And it was like one of the big first turning points of the war. And it was like all these same characters in the same way. So it kind of like hits harder. It wasn't this like final scene. It's like a final scene between two fictional characters.
Right.
Which makes the movie great, but also like takes place in this like real world situation that happened. It was the turning point of the war, you know?
Which is really cool. And I think is pretty unique in some of these movies that we've watched. It's like a believable point in time. There's enough like of the film that's rooted in history and like follow some of those rules. I had no desire to like go back and like, hey, were these, you know, uniforms accurate? Would they have done this? Would they have done... It's like, okay, the movie is internally consistent enough to like,
that's a good point.
It's fine for what it is. Right. And so we're just going to watch it. And you have, you know, you at least have the contrast between the militia and some of the Continental Army. I forget where I was going with that.
Well, I mean,
yeah. So you have the consistency, and then within that, it's telling this like it's telling the wider story of like, hey, these little skirmishes and how sort of these farmers and townsfolk just kind of rose up. But then they put it into the context of like, you kind of have a hero's journey and you have this, you know, very vicious antagonist, and they've got to meet.
Yeah.
And that's great storytelling.
It's just great storytelling to get you, you know, within the context of this larger world. You're saying like you weren't worried about the
minor details.
Minor details. One of the things I Googled that just like popped in my head at the beginning of this movie, because I was thinking maybe too much at the beginning. I was like,
yeah,
that's a really white picket fence. I wonder, they can't just go to Home Depot and buy white paint. How do they get white paint? And there's like a couple different types. And
there's a lot of lead.
Oh yeah, a lot of lead, and just only rich people could afford it.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
a lot of lead.
And ChatGPT was flaming them, being like, rural communities like this probably wouldn't have that white of it. It probably would have been a little bit dull.
Thanks, chat.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat. Lead, a lot of lead. And funny enough, it's actually really hard to get a white that looks as white as a lead-based white paint.
I mean,
just the brightness of it, something about it. Crazy.
Sometimes we go backwards.
Sometimes. Bring back. Well, nah, we don't need it. Okay, so movie on the whole, awesome. Yeah. Villain, terrible.
Portrayal of slavery, not great.
Inaccurate.
It was just kind of like the one like low storytelling point of it was like, how do we show that this guy's a good guy? Oh, clearly he just freed his slaves. Like,
yeah,
that's what all good guys do in the past, and we're just gonna gloss over. There's like a little racism that's just like enough for the sensibilities of a certain group of people at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2000.
It's 2000. We weren't.
It's not 2004.
We weren't trying to dive too deep into that, but it was like,
not, 2024.
Yeah, yeah. But it was like, okay, we're just like, hey, we're gonna build a free world. It's like,
It did very much seem like, hey, we're not trying to necessarily have an accurate portrayal of how bad things were, and what slavery was like. But yeah, I mean, like, they were all slave owners.
Yeah.
And
maybe
not all. Most of them owned slaves, and some of them did treat their slaves well. Not a whole lot of them.
But the majority of like this is how we're gonna treat people.
Yeah.
It's all like we're gonna talk down upon them, and they wouldn't be dressing a slave up in a boat in a British officer outfit to go bomb a British boat.
Ship.
Yep. Probably not. Interesting thing. So it's like the only thing that like really like threw me off about that is like they go to that slave colony, they take them in, it's cool. Oh, we're just here to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
Opposite situation happens. Way different scenario popping off.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, it does take you out a little bit of it. I mean, they're trying to push a different narrative with the story. It's kind of like, hey, we need a place where no one's going to look and no one's going to come out here. So,
Right.
And I understand it on one level, but if there was one gripe about the historicity that took me out,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit that, but overall, like the actual like militia and group that he like put together and what they were doing was like legitimately cool, and like it's cool as you could make like Revolutionary War fighting, which I still believe is the dorkiest of all the fighting that we could possibly have. They made it look
Kind of cool.
Good job rolling them, right?
Do you think it's dorkier than Civil War fighting? Because people reenact the Civil War,
Well, reenact was Civil. Yes,
but they don't
dork.
reenact unless you go to Colonial Williamsburg. A whole lot of the Revolutionary War.
They had
War
like
of
repeating
Independence.
rifles in the Civil War, didn't they? Were they still lining up a little bit? They're still doing a little bit, weren't they?
Yeah, they're marching in formation.
I guess they were. It was like 100 years later. They
Yeah,
had Gatling guns.
yeah.
Switched
Yeah.
up. But they also built some bunkers, though, didn't
Well,
they?
a few.
And they had a sub. They have an armored ship
Yeah, I think one.
in the Civil War. Yeah. No, they had two.
Ironclad.
They had two.
Two. That's right.
They had two. I mean, look, hey,
There's some give and take.
engineers are getting involved.
Some give and take.
Engineers are getting involved. That's all I was hoping. It could have happened earlier, too.
So if the British had some iron-plated ships, would it be still okay if they lined up in formation? Or
and
no? We need
the
tech.
other side didn't. Well, no. I mean, why just line up in formation? Just go roll over some people, and those people shouldn't stand there. They should move.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna need to enroll both of us into
which
historical armies class, so you can learn.
that it was still a bad idea. That's fine. I mean,
all right.
just because they made bad choices back in the day doesn't mean.
Doesn't mean we're any better.
We just
have different guns. That's all.
listen.
I'm listening.
World War I happened.
Yeah.
That didn't go well.
No.
So
they were in trenches, and we're like,
they
that's dumb.
switched it up the next time. The World War I was outpaced. We don't have to get too far off on.
No, we're way off.
We are way off track
We're way
right now.
off track. All right, how do we get back on the right track?
We get back on the right track by talking about how happy we are that we won the Revolutionary War and soccer is not our national pastime.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, David, here we are on the 1st of July. USA just won their knockout round. We're living the dream.
We're living the dream. I don't know if you're paying attention to this too, is that there is distant explosions happening.
Yep.
Kind of reminiscent of like what you see a little bit in the movie.
Yep.
That's happening in the background. We are Captain America up because we just watched Mel Gibson shuck some redcoats with a Cherokee axe.
Yep.
Tomahawk deal.
Can you imagine asking? Can you imagine a 15-year-old son begging you to go to war when your 20-year-old son has already been at war for 2 years?
Today, absolutely not. Not unless that war is going to involve Pokemon cards or Fortnite.
Oh man!
Oh, we are cooked, chat, with
Your son's in shambles right now.
shambles. I should have made him watch this movie.
You should have.
What a miss. All right. When Gladiator pops up. You're watching this one. When Saving Private Ryan pops up in this box, which it will. I don't know how long it's going to be.
That's traumatic. That's too soon.
That's too soon.
That's too soon.
All right, so Gladiator's fine. Gladiator's kosher.
Yeah.
Or 300.
I don't know. I
will-
haven't seen it. If you could see my co-host right now, he's just looking at me in disbelief. Yes, that's correct. I have not seen 300.
Then you wouldn't know that it is absolutely not something you would show to a kid, but it is.
I have my hunches.
Yeah. Definitely not shown to a kid, but I cannot wait for for that one to come up. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Woo! All right, we're back. But the Revolutionary War, way less exciting than that. I mean, I know we don't know how ancient battles will go. Man, I'm dying. I will die on the
Such a boring hill to die on.
bunker hill of this is a dumb.
Okay, so
This is a dumb war.
after we get through the 85 or so remaining movies in the DVD box, David, we both need to go watch a movie called I think it's called The Battle of Waterloo. It's like this historical film, and one of the
Like a documentary or like
no, it's a movie. One of the YouTube video channels that I used to watch quite extensively in the film review genre, History Buffs. He talks about this film, this 1970 film Waterloo, and praises it for its historical accuracy.
Okay.
And he shows some of the battle shots, and it's like you don't get this kind of movie anymore, because you legitimately have these fully staged battles of like hundreds and hundreds of people, like some of them on horseback, a lot of them on horseback. Crazy. So after we're done with this podcast, after I've seen 300 and we've done the whole thing, we're gonna have to go pull that one out and watch that one. And we can release a post What's in the DVD Box podcast and just let you go to town on whatever sort of nonsense you think about tactical fighting.
So you're saying they were at the height of their. Here's what I'm saying. I would have been on that freaking field. I would have been in the bushes waiting for them to come get me.
I think
launching mortars from back there.
I think they would have stuck you right on the front lines. Just like every other kid.
You know what? Put me back in time. I'm going to make a grenade. I'm just going to make a grenade.
You're going to just make a
I'm going to make a pipe bomb. And they're going to be like, yo, that's cool. And I'll be like, here, I'm just going to make a catapult. And I'm just going to launch some pipe bombs out there into you all standing there. Like, how about you guys stand here? I'm going to stand behind you. I'm going to have all these pipe bombs. I'm just going to launch them at you guys over there. Devastating.
Yeah. Well, what can you do?
I mean, what I could have done is won the war a lot faster. That's what I'm trying to say.
What are we even doing? We need to find a movie that we disagree on, because when we agree on how just good a movie is,
this is what it comes down to.
It just comes down to, like, David comes up with some random thing that he's mad about because he doesn't understand history.
I understand history just fine, and that historically we did some dumb things. They used to use leeches to heal people.
Well, you
big leech healer person that you.
No,
they didn't know any better.
They didn't. Yeah, that was the tech.
Leeches. I think we could be critical of some of the things they did in the past. That's what I'm saying, and I'm critical of this.
We can also be critical of how it's easy to just get lost in the healthcare leeches of today. When was the last time you've been to a hospital for something?
I mean, that
didn't get fixed.
That's a solid take right there.
So
I don't agree.
Leeches weren't great, but
I don't want to agree too much on something, but that's a great take right there.
We have penicillin. That's pretty good. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, we can fix broken bones pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we
can come back from an ACL tear in 6 months flat.
And that's pretty.
You can
ruptured Achilles.
You can come back from an Achilles. Okay,
you would have just died before.
You would have just sorry.
I mean,
you're just dead.
One of the things about watching these old movies too is just like thinking about what it would be like to be like recovering after one of these things too, and just you're just like, oh, you're gonna die from a cut on the arm.
Yeah.
Which there's one more thing.
Okay.
About the final scene.
Yeah.
Where as he's fighting in slow motion, and he gets cut on both arm, cut on the back, like let's just set up the most like non-threatening things, but like he does a good soccer flop of getting hit in the back. I'm sure it doesn't feel great. I'd probably do the same thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
But then like it's just like the perfect like this won't affect me, and stab. Which all of that was a little bit ridiculous, but then he redeems all of it by like he stabs the guy. Normally you would just leave the guy stuck through the stomach. No, not in this movie.
Nope.
He goes straight,
Picks up another
throat
bayonet.
chop with a bayonet, and you're like, all right, it's all good. But it was a wild ride for me right there. I was like, oh, this is too not good use of slow motion, and then boom, bayonet, I'm back.
Got it.
Yeah.
How do you rank that in terms of like satisfactory deaths of a villain? Like, is that satisfying enough for you?
That's okay. Hans Gruber falling off Nakatomi Plaza. That's pretty high. That's a pretty satisfying one.
We put that at like what, A tier or B tier?
That's A tier.
A tier, okay.
A tier satisfied. I mean, it's pretty like it honestly didn't matter how he was going to die. You're just like, this guy is so evil that he just got to go down somehow.
I mean it might be an A plus. I'm not sure we're an S tier, but Mel Gibson gets him, and he gets the last word in, and he kind of goes a little bit farther than just stabbing in the chest. And so there's kind of that like, revenge aspect. And he openly admits like, no, my sons are better men than me.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm a bad man. Ka-cha.
Good job.
So I mean, very satisfying. That to me would be like the standard for a villain and the villain's downfall.
He got the last word in. He was able up close and personal. That's what you want a little bit. So you can get the last word in. It wasn't so easy that you just easily bested him. Yeah, I mean it's definitely good. The scene is not as iconic as the Die Hard one.
Yes.
Because him, falling off, like, it didn't mean quite as much. Like, you disliked him and he was a bad guy, you understood it. But, like, that death scene is satisfying because of how iconic it is. Mm-hmm. This is just, like, it worked well. There could have been 20 other ways to do it that would have been just as satisfying, I think. But, yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of ways to do it that's unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Like
just
but I
shoot
think
him.
the like mano in the middle of this, the battle, I think it's great.
Yeah. The scene where he falls down and he's turned the other way and all the the Americans are rushing by and everything, and like that was cool, even if why would they rush by the British guy standing there above their like leader, dude, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, overall, like, this movie still holds up. I think it still holds up very well.
I think so too.
I don't know that it would be made today. I mean, there would have been a lot of pandering to some things that would have taken out, a little bit from the movie, I think, but it just holds up as an entertaining movie that you can't say enough about how much you hate Tavington at the end of this movie.
And I think that's really the point about what I was trying to say before is like the hard work they did for the downfall of their villain, they did in the 2 hours 40 minutes before. They did the hard work, and so you're right. Almost any death is going to be satisfying because this guy's legitimately bad. We talk so much that like it's kind of annoying when it's a little bit unearned here and there. It's really annoying when it's just like, oh, this guy's just sort of nameless, faceless, bad. Gotta kill bad. This one is like, I mean, almost textbook from a writing perspective of just this guy is bad and he's going to do bad things and he's going to be on screen a lot. doing those bad things and getting worse. Gotta end it. Gotta kill him.
So if what you're saying, if I'm picking up on this, is it in Deja Vu rather than just having a bad guy being just random bad white supremacist coded guy, you went back in time and had them kill Colonel Tavington, it would have been better.
It would have been better than whatever Deja Vu was. Because whatever Deja
that would have
Vu
been more
was,
exciting.
Not interesting.
Literally the opposite of what we were talking about. How do you make a villain earn it less? Wait, am I supposed to be mad at this guy? You kind of skipped the part where this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Other than, I guess he
seems principled in a way that maybe Denzel isn't. Huh. I mean, I understand, like, there's one or two things that he's saying that they're trying to make you think that he's a bad guy, but, like, well, I don't know. We don't know.
Bad writing. Good writing.
Yep.
Let's make him earn everything. Just so well done and makes a movie great. Also, Mel Gibson is just like swaggy him in this. There's just something about like how he carries himself all the time that you're just like, I buy that you could be in this role right now as a revolutionary guy hacking people up.
Yeah. And there's not too much, like, you see Mel Gibson, but like it doesn't, he just is that guy. Okay. Anything else?
No. Great movie. Definitely go watch it. If you've gotten to the end of this podcast, good for you. The offer still stands for me to give you this DVD. You know, I actually have an extra DVD player that sits around that I don't use. I'm offering that up too. It just sits in a box in my storage room. I will give you both if you want to watch any of these movies.
Love
the DVDs exist. Come get it.
Love it. All right, everyone who may or may not be listening from Substack, who's getting into the DVD game, because I see a lot of them.
There we go.
There's dozens of us now collecting DVDs.
Okay.
It's great to see. If you want to get in on it, send us a note.
Yeah.
We'll hook you up.
Definitely.
That's been What's in the DVD Box podcast. I'm Jonathan.
I'm David.
Thanks for listening.